Welcome to Scourge of War, Waterloo. We're going to be getting started here pretty soon. So let's go ahead and do that. Hey Pixel, how you doing, bud? Welcome to Scourge of War. Good to see you, bud. We're going to give people about 3 more minutes, guys, to get here, and then we will get started on this stream. We're playing with the Young Guards. For those of you that don't know, of course, Napoleon had his old guards. These were elite troops that he would rarely put into battle. The young guards, I guess, maybe the old guards in training, probably potentially future old guards. Good to see you, Lancer. Good to see you, Redster. Welcome aboard, guys. And like I said, guys, we'll give it about 3 more minutes until everybody gets here. Hello, Fire Extremo. Hello, hello, Solaristics. And Munin. About 2 more minutes, boys. We will be playing as the French. We can eventually, you know, this stream is going to be longer than just this battle, so we might switch over to the Allies after we play as the French. But we'll decide when the time appears, I guess. Hello, Jaculus. Good to see you. Good to see you, bud. All right, guys. Good to see you, Grey Knight. Everybody has come to watch me defeat the English big dogs. C'est très bien. Ho, ho, ho. I am prepared. All right, boys. 2 minutes and we will start. Go ahead and get you guys here on the good old phone. Hello, Kamistar. Good to see you, bud. All right, my friends, we shall begin. So let's go ahead and jump into the game, folks. And we're attacking a Prussian position. Oh, of course, we've got a little issue here. Let's go ahead and reopen the game. We're taking the Young Guards mission, actually, here. So I'll show you guys what that's about. It's a 30-minute mission. So fairly, how can I put this? It's fairly doable. A lot of the missions in this game are quite long, as you can imagine. So we're trying to avoid that if at all possible. Let's go ahead, Waterloo Battles. And this is the one I'm trying to do, the Young Guard. Now, this is a division. We've got brigades. We've got all sorts of different kinds. Wait, he is not French? No, I'm not. I am close, but not quite. I'm 1 country away. How about that? Well, technically 2, but there's like a country in between us. Let's say that. All right, folks. So I'm pretty sure we are going to be trying to destroy the Prussians here at Plassenois. Actually, our job is to push the Prussians back into the town, while, of course, trying to take it. Now, first things first, we want to start moving forward. If you guys see over there by the chateau, there are a lot of bodies on the ground. We're not going to get all the way over there. It's going to take a while, but we're immediately going to start moving. Now, I want to make sure there's a town over there. I'm pretty sure that Plassenois is going to be just this town in general. So we're going to do a major move here. Always like to stay in line formation. And actually, we can move this entire army with General Guillaume without having to move individual units. I generally like to move the individual units, though, because, you know, you kind of want to micromanage. You don't just want to throw your army into battle. But in this case, we are going to push everybody into battle at once just to save on time. Let us take a look at our boys. Hello, Ori. Good to see you. Hello, Van Bishop. You have joined the fight. Vive la France. Now, here we go. We've got some beautiful units. These are the Young Guards. And you can kind of tell by their uniforms, I think. I don't know how much Scourge of War Waterloo you guys have seen, but these are very nice uniforms. Very, very nice. The more standard uniforms are over here. Pretty much what all Napoleonic soldiers wear. But the Young Guard, and the Old Guard especially, just look beautiful. If you look at the flags, you can see the battles that each of these units has actually participated in. Obviously, the units with more battles under their belt, they're going to have a little bit more experience than the rest. So we want to keep that in mind as we approach the Prussian lines. I might take this group right here separately to attack the enemy. I think I'm going to do that and send them into the town, because I'm pretty sure the Prussians have some units over here in the actual town itself. So we're going to take this group and sort of send them elsewhere. We should have contact pretty soon, because I already see a Prussian unit right in front of us. Neuhauser says, let's see some cuirassiers. Give it time, boy, give it time. First we send in the young guard. Then we decide about the cuirassier. Pixel. We are not in Portugal. Alright, here we go. So I do believe we're facing Blucher. I could be wrong on that. We're for sure facing Prussians. But this is not Wavre or Ligny. This is actually the battlefield at Waterloo. So I'm guessing it would be Blucher, probably. I think at Wavre and Ligny you'd have different commanders for the Prussians, if I'm not mistaken. And as you can see, I am micromanaging here. Now I also want to go ahead and select these units to make sure that the AI doesn't take control. One thing I kind of like about Scourge of War Waterloo, it's not something that everybody likes, but it's easily changeable, is if you don't select this take control from AI button, if the AI thinks you're doing a really dumb move, it's going to stop you. Your men are going to retreat, or your men are going to stop, hold their position. So in this case, we kind of have to, take control if we want to take a risk. Now let me see, I also wanted to separate some units. I wanted to get some skirmishers going. See if we can do that. It's been a while. I'm going to pull these guys back a bit. Okay. Oh, we cannot unsplit? Okay, fair enough. Well, we got the answer to that pretty quickly. Now, they've got some skirmishers here. I'm tempted to actually charge in. I know we would probably succeed against skirmishers, but let's just play this safe. And I think we can spot them here. Let's hold and begin firing. Now, against a skirmisher unit, I like to go for volley fire. I like to get a really large amount of fire and just scare the hell out of them so they don't repeat this again. I can do my best, Uri. So Uri's asking for us to, whenever we do keys, key commands, like, for instance, the AI, take control of the AI, to let him know, and that's totally understandable. I have similar issues with Scourge. Again, the take control from AI button is something I would absolutely recommend using in any of your battles, because I see people sometimes getting frustrated with this game, thinking that they're not controlling the unit. Well, you're not. If you don't have control from AI, then you've essentially told the unit that if they disagree with an order of yours, they can go ahead and do whatever they feel is correct, and you can't have that. I'm actually going to charge here. I'm going to try to get these skirmishers to fall back. I think they will as soon as we charge, and we'll bring our young guards up here. The Tirailleurs de la Garde. No worries, Uri. Trust me, I'm way below you on that list, my friend. Believe me. It's the reason we haven't had a command modern air naval operations let's play here on this channel in a while. Let's put this general back here. All right, come on, let's get those skirmishers. Now the Prussians have raised the black flag. For those of you that don't know, red flag is essentially a truce flag. So when you want to maybe have a ceasefire or something like that. Oh, and we do have some skirmishers. C'est très bien. The black flag essentially means no quarter to the enemy. It's really something you'd use more against pirates, etc. But there is a famous line said by Blucher that was raise the black flag, no pity. So we have to keep in mind and consider the fact that these Prussians may not want us to escape at all. All right, nice. Our young guards have some skirmishers here too. We're going to set them up over here. And those skirmishers are taking off. I'm not going to chase them. I'd rather get the young guards up into a firing position with the Prussians right here. Let's take a look at how the right side is evolving. All right, so these guys we definitely want to move forward with. I'll take the General here, and I'm going to send him up here, guys. So kind of pushing up on the right. Ooh, wait a minute. There we go. All right, I think this is good for the young guards. You boys, I hope you did well in training. And we'll hold here as well with these guys. We're just going to try to deliver total hellfire to that unit. We've already got these guys on volley fire. So as soon as they're ready to go, they're going to launch a massive volley into the backs of these guys. In fact, let's go for one right now. Boom! Look at that. Did you guys see that drop? That's what happens when you're facing the young guards. These guys absolutely are well-trained. They know how to fire. They're sort of considered the elite of Napoleon's army, I think only surpassed by the old guard units. And generally, Napoleon didn't like sacrificing these young or old guard units. These were kind of a method of last resort, as it were. Okay, we got some engagement already with skirmishers here. And again, I'm clicking that AI control button. I'm going to do the same here. So we have sent some skirmishers running, and you can see that there's a tremendous amount of casualties on the field already. Are they coming back? These guys are crazy. Crazy Prussians, folks. All right, well, we'll give them what they want. I'm, again, going to put that on volley fire. Am I considering doing one? Not particularly, but anything's possible, I think. Okay, let's hold. And again, we got that volley fire on, so they're going to try to maximize their firepower. They're going to fire all at once, essentially. I like that the general is right there with his men and not afraid of the enemy at all. They're spreading out. They're spreading out. Might be time to go ahead and let them have it, boys. Oh, boy. This might be a charge situation. They're getting way too close, man. Way too close for comfort. There we go. Beautiful. And after that, I think we have to charge. A nice volley, followed up by a vicious charge, should dislodge these Prussians. Go back to Prussia, you dogs. Oh! Oh my goodness. First line of our old guards fell quickly there against the bayonets of the Prussians. Let's hope that it's not a sign of bad times for us. I think we got them, though. I think we forced them to retreat, but not without some serious losses on our side. So we're still firing. Keep that on consistent fire mode here. On volley fire, I should say. And I'm going to go ahead and wheel these guys around just a little bit so they get a perfect shot. You know, if your guys are like at an angle and they're firing, obviously they're not going to get the best shot they could. So you want to have them really facing the enemy directly. And these guys, I think they've learned their lesson this time. But I have to say, I'm surprised at how those Prussians were able to do an okay job. I'm going to keep on pushing forward. What we really want to do is make it to the chateau. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, look at this, folks. We've got some Prussian units on either side. Didn't expect this. Let's go ahead and we want to flip this around for sure. We don't want these guys overlapping. Overlapping is very bad in this game. It's almost always a negative thing. So I'm going to get the skirmishers over there to assist. But I just didn't expect the Prussians to have any sort of reinforcements. I'm going to move these guys up as well. And again, we are taking command from the AI. Looks like they're running away. Beautiful. So, yeah, they don't have much of a fight left in them. Keep in mind that before we arrived on this battlefield, the battle had already been going on for a few hours. We're sort of the reinforcing troops, which, again, that goes back to Napoleon wanting to only use the young guards and the old guards in the most dire situations. And this situation is most certainly dire. A fierce battle, says Pixel. Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. They're not going to give this town up easily. But I'm hoping we can make them consider our way of sinking. Keep it up, boys. Keep it up. We'll not have a young guard unit retreat on my watch. And we'll take these guys. Really trying to form a nice little battle line here, which I don't think should be too difficult. But how are we doing over here with the young guards? Ooh, wow, I didn't realize I got that close to the enemy. Okay. Hey, it works. They're right in front of us. This should be a perfect shot as they try to retreat. Reload, boys. What are you doing? Okay, some of them are actually running into the chateau. There's a nice volley fire. Thought they were never going to do it. It might seem, you know, like really mean to fire at units that are retreating, etc. But the fact is, I mean, we have no choice. And by the way, there's a general here. Oh, we got a Prussian general, guys. Prussian general killed there. He got way too close. The fact is that these units that are retreating could come back to the fight. And one of the ways of avoiding that is to heavily damage them. So we don't have any artillery to break in here to the chateau. That's going to make it a little bit easier, or a little bit harder, excuse me, for us to break through. Now, is this our unit? That would be great if it was. I don't think it is, though. Yeah, these are cavalry units. Unfortunately, we don't have control over them. Come on, there we go. We do have some artillery coming in. You could actually see the shell shot exploding above the enemy. So that's working. is it? That's a good point, Bexel. My French, what is wrong? I think it would actually be called a cathedral. So it does have a bell tower, so I think that makes it a cathedral and not a church. But what do I know? What do I know? Fire away, keep it up, don't let them retreat. Here we go, we've got the Prussians, nice little screen here that these guys can just fire away at, and we've still got that shell shot raining down on the enemy, man. I love it. Alright, they're out of range. Now it's time for us to push forward a bit. Some moments of silence for the very brave young men that died here. But it is for the glory of France. Looks like these Prussians are actually trying to put up a fight. Thinking that potentially they could beat us, and we just got to put more units on that cathedral. So let's move over here. Just got to throw as much firepower as we possibly can. And I have to say, this unit right here, the 1st Battalion of Tirailleurs de Garde, guard shooters, I believe is the translation. Amazing job so far, just amazing. Let's go ahead and, I just want to, yeah, like that. I think that's better. Again, overlapping units in this game is never good, so I'm going to have to try and move this guy in front of the rest. Gives you a penalty. Okay, nice! Oh, I thought they were running. Nope, doesn't look like they are. Alright, you know what? I take that back. Let's go ahead and cycle to the left once again. Just an église, that's what it is. Thank you, Damien. So it is a church. It's a nice church, I have to say. I mean, all things considered. Alright, let's halt here. This is close enough. We've got a skirmisher unit directly in front of us, and we've got our guys on free fire mode, but I'm going to put them on volley fire. Although I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. They're in front of a tremendous amount of enemy guns. Excuse me, a tremendous amount of enemy guns, and it's going to be pretty easy for them to get picked off. There we go. Alright, so the skirmishers, I'm really tempted, guys, to do a charge. Like, really, really tempted to do a charge here. Vive la France. We've given them enough chances. Kill them all. Here we go, boys. The moment of truth. Of course, we'll keep the skirmishers back here. Like most things, this could either end very well or very poorly. But our men are not afraid. Bayonets! Oh boy. It's looking pretty rough for both sides during this battle. Alright, let's see what's going on over here. Charge. And we've got this other unit over here just in case the charge doesn't work as planned. Man, those bayonets are going left and right. Both sides are fighting with total ferocity here, refusing to give up. I'm almost tempted to send this unit in too, but again, it's a big risk to charge like this. It could go very well, or it could go very, very poorly for us. Okay, I think we won that one. Oh, I think both of us retreated. Interesting, guys. So both our unit and their unit had enough of that bloodbath and pulled back. Understandable, to say the least. And I think we took the field. We definitely took the field. But did we take any positions of importance? Not particularly. What we really want to take is that chateau. So at this point, grab the general, try to keep him over here, close to the chateau, and we'll grab these units and push them over here into the western side of that building. In fact, I can grab this general here and go ahead and force the push. I think the Prussians might try to retake this position, but I think we'll be prepared for them. They've also got some cuirassiers out there, or actually these could be hussars. But if they attack, I'll definitely get into square formation very quickly. And you can already see some of the Prussians retreating into the Église. We don't want that. Do the French have artillery in this scenario? Asks Uri Blau. Yes, we do. There was actually some of it coming in when we were attacking that hill over there. Let's take a look. It's our northeast, but it's really the west over here. We had some shell shot coming in, and it's coming from over there. You guys can see. Quite a distance away, maybe half a kilometer, or a little less than half a kilometer. And that's hopefully going to keep us safe. Okay, we've got some enemies approaching. We need to get into square formation right now. Right now. Any moment. Why are you not doing square formation? Alright, here we go. Boom. A bit late on the square formation, though. Let's see if they can do it before the Hussars. No, I think the Hussars have got us here. We just took way too long, and right now the cavalry is making us pay for it. Do we have any other units? Move them up immediately. Actually make it a double quick march. Get into there. Come on! Kill the damn cavalry! I think this is close enough to get a shot. But obviously I want to get really, really close. And now, once we get here, we'll go ahead and get into a square formation. Man, they're really fast with their charges. Man, are you serious? We never are able to do this when we're playing as cavalry, man. This is insane. Like, right as we are about to do the square formation, they charge us. Unbelievable. That is so frustrating. We're never able to do things that quickly. When we charge with cavalry, the enemy always gets into that square. Too late, says Pixel. Yeah, man. You're telling me. Like, kind of frustrating. If I was playing alone, that would be a rage quit right there. Yeah, because just, you know, we're doing our best to... Come on, get into the square, damn it! No, it's as soon as we get into the square, guys just run. Because we have cowards instead of men. Well, you know, France. What can you say? What can you say that hasn't already been said? Just keep running. This is our main focus here. So I'll try to get these units up. But again, anytime we seem to do that, man, they have done a great job. I got to give it to the Prussians. Done a great job with that cavalry charge. I've never managed a cavalry charge that successful. And we've had some really good ones here, but that was amazing. So hopefully these guys will come back. But obviously we have to be careful. Those are the best rage quits, says Lancer. Yes, indeed. We've also got the artillery back here, providing some pretty good supporting fire. Unfortunately, we don't have control over these guys. We just have to hope that they're throwing most of their rounds down on the Église, the church. And we do have a lot of Prussians, if you guys look back here, also running off the field. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come, specifically them leaving the Église. And actually, I'll turn our unit a little more towards that thing so that we get a proper shot every time. We'll also put them on volley fire. Typically, I think against these buildings, volley fire is always better. You know, keeping in mind that most of the rounds in this time period, besides maybe artillery, are not going to penetrate stone. Heck, most of the rounds in our modern time period aren't going to penetrate stone. So I think firing all at once gives us a chance of maybe, you know, firing some rounds into the windows, etc., and getting some casualties that way. We're going to keep them here. Come on. Let's try to get at least one volley on the cavalry there. What, you boys want revenge? Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep this unit in a square formation. I'll move the rest of the units up and see if we can't maybe get the enemy to attack us again. Obviously, if we're in a square formation, we're in a much better position to resist their attack. How about depleted uranium rounds, says Gummy Star? Yeah, I think a depleted uranium round would, there would be no church left. It would just be gone. Good thing is it's on fire now, probably due to the consistent shell shot here. But the church being on fire is a good sign. You know, it definitely means that it's being weakened. The structure itself is being weakened. The men inside are being weakened. But it looks like most of our men, a good percentage, are all the way back here, having run from that charge, of course. Bonjour, mon ami. We will send you over here. We're getting some of these guys back into their regular positions, of course. See, we got a little skirmisher fight, but look at all the bodies on the field, man. And there are a lot of Prussian bodies, but if you see the light blue over here, these are men that were killed with that cavalry charge. They just ran us down. You know, you don't just get killed by a saber or anything like that in a cavalry charge. Just the momentum of the horse hitting you, if you are unlucky enough to be in that front line, is enough to break every bone in your body. It's pretty much, you know, it's pretty much the way it works. So a lot of these guys probably didn't get slashed or anything like that, just trampled by a horse. I mean, you know, that alone is just going to ruin your day. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I've seen that, Pix. You got to get snipers for that. Sending your troops to advance over their comrades' bodies can't be great for morale. That's a good point, Newhauser. That's a very good point. There's no doubt about that, you know, seeing allies on the ground or, you know, friends on the ground dead is going to affect you in a nasty way. Very true. I think we've got this cavalry caught, though. I don't think they're going to be able to leave this area. If they do, we're immediately going to be firing at them. So I'm hoping that that's it. I'll move the skirmisher unit up to just kind of frustrate them a bit. See if we can't force a charge. We've got some reinforcements over there, but they are not making themselves available for this attack. Van Bishop says, typical infantry attack formation by French troops during the era was ordre mixte, left and right battalions in columns, center battalion in a line, skirmishers up front. Once the skirmishers have taken the volley, they retreat, the center battalion engages the enemy, and the two flank battalions charge. Wow. Congratulations, Spearhead Gamer. I think Spearhead just redeemed an item. I'd like to know what you got, man. Tell us all. All right, let's hold here. So just with the skirmishers, I'm going to be engaging, well, their skirmishers and their cavalry right there. But it looks like the skirmishers are not interested in the fight. They've seen enough bloodshed the entire day. Oh, look at this. We have cavalry advancing, boys. I would love to get some revenge on that cavalry. And that's going to be Landwehr Cavalry Regiment. So I'm not sure if that's considered hussars, cuirassiers. I'm really not sure. That's good enough. I don't want to risk being overrun again, so let's get into that square. Another thing about the AI taking control, it can be a little bit, I don't want to say like cheating, but it can make things a little bit too easy. Because had we had this unselected, the AI would have immediately gotten into square formation before the cavalry arrived. I like having to control that myself. It really makes it more realistic. Oh, nice! Decent shots there, but it looks like the enemy learned from their mistakes and they're going to pull back. That commander seems to be sticking around. Kapitan Schrebex. You're in trouble, Captain. Nice, good work, boys. I love that view right there of the young guards just holding in that square formation, just completely surrounded by bodies, dead horses, but they still have a tremendous amount of morale, a tremendous amount of love for country and for Emperor, of course. And again, since that's not a position we have to take, I'm not too concerned about it. Okay, guys, this is important. We've got to get into the chateau, excuse me, the église, as quickly as possible. And essentially, any unit we can provide to go over here is going to help us get a potential victory in this battle. Take the road up there. Now, we don't just need infantry to take this location. We need generals or commanders to secure the point. Is the church the only objective in this scenario? That's a good question. I believe in this one it is. This is a 30-minute scenario. Occasionally, you will obviously have more than one place that you need to take, especially when you play the larger scenarios with divisions, things like this. In this one, I think that's pretty much all we have to do, yeah. Could be wrong, but that's all I see right now. Let's actually have these guys rush over here. Capitaine Lafontaine. Seems to be a very popular name in French Canada, actually, Lafontaine. I had a buddy named Lafontaine, well, his last name anyway, from Quebec, or Quebec. Is it Quebec or Quebec? I believe Quebec is more appropriate. Do we have any French Canadians? That would be interesting. All right, once again, I'll move this guy up, but I will make it a fast move. We also got some ammunition, although I don't think our boys need it. We've got this area under control for the most part. Just have to make sure that none of these Prussian troops, for instance, on the left side, etc., are going to hold on. Some of our guys are already getting into the chateau, and hopefully they'll use this as a forward-firing position. How did our guys get all the way over here? Wow, well done. Really well done with the 1st Guards Battalion. Remember, these guys engaged in that first firefight, walking up the street, and they are still doing great, guys. Yeah, there's still enemies inside, we can tell, because there's actually still a Prussian flag right there. Nice. Still got volley fire. And it is ours now, guys. The beautiful flag of the République is above us. That's exactly what we wanted. And it looks like the Prussians are going to take off for the most part. I don't want these guys even getting involved in a firefight. They fought hard enough today, so I'm just going to have them rush back here as quickly as possible and try to avoid that Prussian line fire. You can actually see the gunpowder popping off the line there. It's never something we like to deal with. Got some more Prussians over here, too. And it's probably time, yeah, it's probably time for us to get back into line formation. I'll make it quick. So every shot we take in square formation, for those of you that aren't aware, if you're facing a line with a square, it's very easy for them to take you down. It's also a lot easier for them to charge you. That being said, I don't think we're in danger of either of those things right now. All right, once again, we've lost the control here. We've got to hold the control points. So the enemy is absolutely still fighting to keep this position. Oh, nice. Lanzer got a Legacy of the Weird Boy for Sanctus Reach. That's a good one, man. Major defeat! Oh, no, this is not good. So I think that would have been a victory had we just held that Iglesia for a little bit longer. Unfortunately, we lost the holding, so those Prussian troops on our perimeter must have held it. We'll look at the statistics here, guys. Enemy casualties, 1,391. 1,338 casualties on our side. Not too bad. And we can actually go ahead and select individual units here. You can see specifically how our units did, etc. Pretty interesting information, but that is unfortunate. It really is. That's battle for you, boys. Okay. All right, guys. So let's get out here. Now, what would you guys like to see next? We still got a little bit left here in this stream. And would you guys like to see another battle with the French, or would you guys like us to play with the British or the Prussians? Let's get some thoughts down below. See what you'd like to see, essentially. Would you like to see the British, the Prussians, or another battle with France? Leaving it completely up to you guys. No excuses. Defeat is a defeat. Well said, Kamistar. Spoken like a true officer. Officer, we did really well. We got a lot of Did you win? Nope. Court-martial. All right, so Richard Trollslayer saying the Prussians. Pixel saying the British. Lanzer saying the British. So far, we've got the British, but if somebody else answers and we... Ooh, Brits! If you lose, you die. Fair enough. Alright, so we'll go for the Brits here in Waterloo Allied. Alright, let's take a look here. So this is the Dutch-Belgian. This is a Netherlands brigade. Now, technically, they do work for the British Army, but we'll try to keep this actually properly English. Okay, this seems fun. So here we're using a brigade, and we have to hold the woods against the French as the British here. Haha, Van Bishop, hold your fire till you see the whites of their eyes. Indeed. Alright, boys. So, we're ordered to hold the woods south of Hougemont. If you're overwhelmed, you may take shelter in the farm buildings, but fall back to the farm only if your situation becomes critical. We've got a pretty standard operating procedure here. Now, the not-so-great part about this battle is the fact that look at the skirmishers we have. We've got, like, you know, quite a few units of skirmishers here, even some Dutch skirmishers, actually, making up a part of... actually, no, this is Orange Nassau. Yeah, so these are Dutch. But we've also got some defenders over here. So quite a few defenders at the chateau, and quite a few defenders here, but these are all skirmisher units. We've got very few actual infantry units, except maybe this one. I'll set them up on the line right there. And this fort. So we just have to hope that we can hold out. Now, as for our specifically British units, we've got these two on the right side. Again, smaller units than what we dealt with in the last battle. But our position is, our objective, I should say, is a little easier in the sense that our goal here is to hold the position, whereas in the last battle, our goal was to actually attack a position, and clearly one is a lot more difficult than the other. They're already beginning to shell this area, not surprising, and they're advancing. Look at that. Oh, man. Look at what we have to hold out against. Unbelievable. Quick past the two-toe missile. Alright, enemy skirmishers already engaging us. Look at that. Make sure we can spot them. It's not a great idea to get off this hill because we're going to need this, but temporarily I'll move forward. Just to get basically an extra line of rifles firing at that position. Yeah, that's good enough. Again, the distance these guys can fire is a lot longer than regular troops. They've been trained. They know what they're doing. Let's see if anybody knows little historical fact here about why there were why there were Dutch units in the British Army at the time of this battle. Can anybody tell us why? I've said it in previous streams, but it might not be something that everybody knows about. But you'll notice that, of course, we've got the Prussians on our side. We've got the British, of course, are, you know, we're playing as the British, but the actual Dutch units are part of the British Army in this case. Laurie Blau says it looks easier, but the French firepower is rather good in this one. Absolutely. Not to mention the fact that we have less men. It's going to complicate things. But I'm hoping that our skirmishers, you know, believe it or not, a group of skirmishers can be very effective at keeping back an entire line of infantry. If you can just get some really great shots on them, obviously they're going to think twice. Now over here we can already fire at this French unit. So let's turn around, get into position. The light company, the foot guards. Come on, lads. Volley fire. Oh man, look at that massive army approaching, guys. I really want to get rid of the skirmishers at least so we don't have to deal with them while this is all going on. And it looks like we've got a cannonball right behind us, so not exactly the greatest place to be hanging out. Yeah, so I think it's either the Queen or the King. I'm fairly sure it's the King. But the King of the family, the royal family in this particular time period, the British King, did have family, Dutch family, I believe. I can't recall if it was his father that was Dutch or one of his family members that was Dutch. And so he had a group of actual Dutch soldiers that were actually pretty effective. We don't have the Dutch elite units here, but I believe it's called the King's Foot Guard, that's made up almost entirely of Dutch units, prepared to lay down their lives for the king, of course. So that's why we have a lot of Dutch support here. We also have some support from the German city-states. As many of you know, Germany is not yet a country at this time period, but we've got a lot of different city-states, Wartingen and all these things, that also have sent troops our way. Oh yeah, we've got the first line of enemies, folks. And we are absolutely trying to get some flanking shots. Now, I'm actually not going to turn off AI control because they're in skirmisher mode right now, and if they need to run, I want them to run. Let's put this on volley fire. Although with skirmishers, you usually want to keep on fire at will. They pretty much know what they're doing. Boom. We'll put them back on fire at will mode. Man, this is not easy. And again, remember what the commands are. We can only retreat if absolutely necessary. It does seem to me, though, that eventually it is going to be absolutely necessary to retreat, given the situation we find ourselves in. Volley fire. These guys are already on volley fire, so we're just trying to crush the Brigade Baudouin split battalion. See, throwing some shots down range, but it doesn't look like we managed to hit any of these skirmishers. It's not easy to defeat these guys. Let's see how our Dutch defenders are doing. Keep firing, boys. Don't let the Frenchies approach. It's not a very good Dutch accent, is it? Shame on me. Let's see what's going on up here. So since the enemy doesn't have any units attacking us there, I'm going to send these guys over too. We've got the Copenhagen Light Battalion. And these are British Infantry Foot Guards. But again, not necessarily all British. You know, at this time period, the British Army had a tremendous amount of different cultures represented within it. Well, it always has, really. Yes, thank you, Van Bishop. A good suggestion. He's saying stay right on the edge of the woods and prepare to fall back. Yeah, because I'm guessing we will eventually have to. I think this is close enough to fire. And of course, we'll take a look, even when we do retreat, because I'm curious to see how many of the French we actually managed to kill with just skirmisher units. It'd be interesting to see just how effective these snipers, for lack of a better word, are. But I think the correct term would be riflemen. The fact is, rifles were just not nearly as accurate in this time period as they are today. So the term sniper is a little, it's uncertain. I'm sure, I mean, snipers did exist in this time period, but no scope, nothing like that. It's pretty much just a very good shooter. And they're firing shell shot at us for sure. So not only do they have more men than we do, but they've got a lot more artillery. Put these guys on fire at will mode, especially considering the enemy could charge or break through at any second here. I'm surprised though, guys. I mean, they haven't pushed through yet. It's pretty amazing. It's taking them a lot just to push through. And that's our goal. Make them think there's a lot more men here than there actually are. And considering they're attacking somewhat uphill, yeah, it could seem that way, I think, to just about anybody. Sharp's rifles, says Lanzer. Yes, that's actually... It actually looks like the uniform that Sharp's using in Sharp's rifles. Perhaps he was a part of one of these regiments. Then again, there's so many episodes of Sharp's rifles. I mean, he fights in more than one regiment, right? So, who knows? Great series, by the way. I would be very surprised if people that play Scourge of War Waterloo have not seen Sharp's rifles. So one of our British units did take off there. Understandable again. This is not easy. Really better to fire at these units over here that are marching. I want to target that unit that's kind of flanked, so I'm actually going to turn this guy around completely. They've got their backs turned towards us. I mean, that's a beautiful shot if we can get it off. Reload. And it looks like they're basically moving all their troops over here to make a push on the fort. Boom! Let's take a look. We still got our light guards units that are holding out. It looks like those British units on the left, though, had to take off. And now I think it might be time to retreat very soon. I don't like the fact that Lieutenant Colonel James MacDonald here is kind of out in the open, so I'm actually going to send him into the chateau. Best of luck, boys! Best of luck! Meanwhile, the guys are like, oh no, this is the end for us, for sure. So we've got the fallback when engaged button selected. If they charge, we will fall back. Otherwise, I'm going to try to keep these guys here. The rest of them, time to pull back. It's not a retreat, guys. It's a strategic redeployment. It's not the same thing. We're not running away. There we go. I love the shots coming from these guys. They've got such a nice position, too, here in the bushes. Far away. We've got the good old Union Jack flying above these guys. This is a wonderful position. But, of course, with that overwhelming amount of infantry approaching, makes little difference. Okay, so some of our guys are intelligent enough to know that if they're going to retreat, they need to retreat into the chateau anyway. I like that a lot. So they're sort of getting prepared, and we've got some units here that are basically right here on the parapets. Would that be correct? The walls of the chateau, preparing to fire. And much like the Église or any of those defensive units, it certainly takes a lot more than you'd probably expect to take the chateau. It's not just as simple as walking in there. They have to actually break the frontal lines first. So the longer we can delay these guys, the higher the probability that we're going to win. That's really why this is so important to hold them back. Our men know that they can't beat them, but there's a chance that we can at least damage them to a certain extent to make it very hard for them to take the chateau. I'm going to turn these guys completely around because I want them facing that unit. Yes, beautiful. All right, lads. Boom. Let's try to get a volley fire here. Okay, I already see one falling. I mean, at this distance, this is like 10 meters. Maybe a little more than 10 meters, 12 or 13. But yeah, it's not surprising that it's going to be an easy shot, although look at that. Our men had to fall back. We didn't order it. It's just, you know, the situation calls for it. And I think they're going to go right to the chateau. Beautiful. So our second line of defense is about to be breached. Hold on, men. The Coldstream Regiment, folks. Now, these guys are a famous regiment. The Coldstream Guards. Send in the tanks, says Pixel. Alright, they're advancing. Let's get that on volley fire. If they are thinking they can advance, then let's throw as much firepower down their way at once as possible. Make them rethink this position. No pun intended. Let him have it, boys. There we go. Send them back to hell. All right, looks like they've stopped. Maybe not so keen on advancing. Let's go for another volley shot. So far, they have not attacked the chateau. They're really just focusing on that central part and this unit right here, the Coldstream Guards. That's beautiful. That's what I want. Boom. Let's just take a little tour here of the battle. I just want to see the amount of enemies we've hit. And consider the fact that, you know, most of our units have like 100, 200, stuff like that. So it makes sense we're not going to get a massive amount of casualties on the enemy side, but every guy counts. Every enemy shot down counts. And it looks like, look at this. This is incredible. The light infantry from Nassau is still holding on. Unbelievable. And I am keeping them on fire at will mode. They're doing a fine job. So I don't think there's any point in getting them on volley fire or anything like that. I like that term, Krupp Drug. Krupp Drug calls it an elastic offense. I like that. You don't have to say you're retreating if you're retreating and fighting back consistently, right? I like the elastic defense. And look at that. These Coldstream Guards are still in it, man. I mean, they've lost just about everybody in their unit, but just refuse to surrender. They refuse to retreat. Good on them. And now we'll actually go for a volley shot, considering we don't have many men left. Fire, boys. There we go. Ooh, are they readjusting? This is a good opportunity to get another shot with a volley fire while they're readjusting. Yeah, they're definitely readjusting to face another unit. This is our chance, guys. Get as many casualties as possible. Actually, after this volley, I'll let them just fire at will since the enemy's not even facing us. Boom. Keep it on fire at will. Have fun. Taking a look over here, so far, not a single attack on this area. And we've got quite a few units inside to defend it. I am really impressed. I don't know if you guys are by the Coldstream Guards. That is just an amazing job that they've done. Even if they retreat at this point, every single one of them just deserves a Victorious Cross. Victorious Cross? No. Queen Victoria. A bit later. So what would they have in this time period? Maybe a King's Cross, something like that. Victorious Cross obviously wouldn't even have been made yet. A King's Cross, perhaps. I'm not sure. And it's not like the enemy is not firing consistently from over there. That's got to be at least 700 meters, 600 meters. And they've already actually got our fort here on fire. I got a lucky shot. It looks like this building is burning up. Let's just hope it's not the ammo depot, because we know what happens when an ammo depot gets hit. Yeah, it looks like they've noticed the seriousness of the situation. They've turned towards us once again. Probably a good idea. Okay, now we are engaged. Yeah, I definitely see some enemy units, and it's all skirmishers. So the French are pretty smart here. They've sent the skirmishers ahead of their main infantry to kind of try to weaken our line before they attack. Very, very good decision tactically. And this, of course, keeps our focus and our ammunition, firing at these units when really we should be firing at the units behind them, the infantry. Okay, finally the Coldstream Guards took off, but man, did they fight an incredible battle. I mean, we're just going to take a look here. These are the men they lost. If we take a look at the French over here, for a skirmisher unit, that was an incredibly good job. I'm sure the French are regretting that one. And I would assume that skirmishers, they aim for vital organs. They're not going for a lucky leg shot. These guys are going for center mass almost every shot. They're trained shooters, obviously. This is what they do. You don't want to have to deal with these guys if you can help it. I'll put these guys on volley fire. Now they're getting awfully close. You're not getting closer. Now they have taken this location, which was, remember, the starting location. They were very clear that if we lose this one, we fall back to the chateau. But they are going to grab that one. So that could end in a defeat. I'm not sure. Look at this. We've got French units moving on the chateau from the right. I don't think it's going to be an easy move, though. And we've got to have some artillery support. I think so. We don't. And we don't control these units either, so they're not sending in any infantry support either. Oh! Welcome, boys! It's a pleasure to see you! Wait a minute, we may have just won this one, folks. Look at what's coming our way. Dun 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 dun. It's about damn time. Welcome, folks. And I think they're going to help us hold this position pretty well. As long as they get here quickly. I mean, come on, guys. I know you got to march. That's all well and good, but we need you right now. The British infantry has arrived. Yeah, that's looking really good, Pixel. I can't wait for that game to come out. Pixel's talking about Armored Brigade, currently being made by Matrix. Looks just wonderful. Almost like, I mean, I think it's much more advanced, but it's reminding me sort of like a modern close combat from what I've seen. Which just looks really nice. Love the terrain in it too, just like how you can fight on a massive map and select like a specific area. Just really neat stuff. Haha, Pixel. Very nice. Putting down a song in a reference to the British Grenadiers. Now, they were arriving, but let's see if they arrive on time. I think they're already here. Yes, good. Good, good, good. It's going to be very hard for the enemy to take this position. And they arrived just in time, because as you can see, our skirmishers were just beginning to take off from the walls here. So this might have been perfect timing. Is it possible that our Coldstream Guards won that battle for us? Very possibly. I mean, again, the AI in this game generally focuses. It can definitely multitask, but as you guys saw there, it was focusing on destroying just that one unit. So all the enemy units were kind of moving in that direction, and only when the Coldstream Guards retreated did they start this full advance. So I think we did a pretty good job there at holding them back. But did we do enough? Only time will tell. Really tempted to move these guys up, but I'm a little afraid to change their position. There. I just want them holding on top of the parapet here. I didn't order you to charge. What are you doing? What in the world? Hold. I don't know why these guys are charging. We can't take control of them either. So okay, we just got some crazy Dutchmen that are deciding for a charge. Again, I did not order that, but oh well. Oh, I think we're good, Pix. I think we're good. Look at this. Look at this. This is what they're doing to the French for hurting their friends, the Coldstream Guards. Now we're out in force, and this is a true counterattack here. So we've got another Coldstream Regiment of Foot Guards. So this is all from the same regiment. And no doubt that they want some vengeance for their fallen comrades. I would charge, but we have such a good position here uphill. You guys see the bodies dropping there that I think it's really just best to stay here and just pile on the fire on the enemy. Thank you, Frere. Now, the negative aspect here is they have that same strong position in the bushes here, but we can't control this unit. This unit is under control of the AI. We just have to basically hope that they're doing the right thing, and I think they are right now. You can see a lot of down men. Frenchmen dead next to Coldstream Guards right there. Look, this guy fell right on top of a Coldstream Guard. They certainly know they made a mistake. And what's the commander here behind them? Marshal de Camp Baron Pierre-François Baudouin. Oh yeah, baby, look at that. We've got some Frenchies on the run. Unfortunately, they did manage to capture that crazy Dutch unit right here. But we absolutely got these guys to run. That's a huge bonus for us, guys. I mean, if I was the French general in this situation, I would absolutely retreat. Or at least I would reform my units behind this wooded area and then do a new attack, because I don't think it's possible for them to break through here. I think we're safe. I may have just jinxed myself, but I think so. Hello, Grand Elemental. Nice to see you. With so many names, the guy probably weighs too much to run. He likes his pudding. He's a baron. He eats what he wants. Feel bad for the horse, but, you know. It's a French horse. It's okay. The gout will get him first. That was actually a pretty common illness for, like, wealthy nobles that would eat a lot. They would get gout. Just eat disgusting amounts. I forget, I had read it on, I think it was Listverse not too long ago. It was like 10 royals that died in absurd circumstances, and I think it was Frederick. Pretty sure it was Frederick of Sweden. That basically the way he died, he would eat like ridiculous amounts of food. And he had this, I don't know the actual name of the pastry he had, but it's the equivalent of like a croissant that's in heavy cream, dipped in heavy cream. And he ate like 10 helpings of that, and he died. Intestinal blockage. So that can absolutely occur. Everything in moderation, boys and girls. Everything in moderation. Pix, if you want to, I don't know if you can, if you want to jump there on Listverse and just copy-paste that explanation, you'll find it, man. It's if you go on Listverse, click on the main lists, it's in one of the top, or one of the initial ones. It's like something like 10 people that died due to strange circumstances, something like this. page 1 or 2, feel free to copy paste just that explanation, because I found that fascinating. And it wasn't just that. It wasn't just the pastries that he had eaten. He had eaten like several banquets before, and then as his good night, like basically his good night snack, was 8 of these disgusting pastries slathered in heavy cream. So, you know, that's life of a royal, I suppose. And I'm amazed these guys are still holding out. We've done an amazing job holding here. Obviously, without the British support, I think the French would have overrun us by now. But even that being said, the amount of casualties we're managing to give the French here with just skirmisher units is pretty incredible. You can see they're doing their best, but I don't think they're going to be breaking through. Oh, nice! Flanking shots with our British friends. And you can see shots coming from the windows, of course, of the fort. Oh, yeah. They're getting right up close and personal. And actually see what the AI is doing here. They're trying to get the bushes here to get some cover. But man, that volley's going to hurt the enemy for sure. I don't know what these guys are doing. They might be going for a charge. Okay. They just wanted to get like 5 meters away from the enemy before they fired. That's more like 10, but man, if they get a full volley... There we go! Victory, boys! Near Waterloo, Belgium, we have met the enemy near this place and have pushed their battalions back across the battlefield. A strong rear guard has given the enemy the chance to reorganize and resupply for the battles ahead. That's what I'm talking about, baby. And if we look at the casualties, enemy casualties, 564, only 417 on our side. The skirmishers absolutely won the day, even in terms of casualties, man. That's exciting. Don't have low disk space. Stop telling me that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. It's actually, we're going to have to abort. Thankfully, we got the end of the battle there. I hope you guys enjoyed that stream there of Scourge of War Waterloo. I want to thank everybody for stopping by and checking it out. For those of you that don't know me, I am Agrippa Maxentius, and I always love you guys stopping by. You can add me here on YouTube, and if you want to add me on Twitch, just click my name. I think it's that simple. Maybe just to make sure, we'll do Twitch. But I always love you guys stopping by. I hope you guys had fun, and I think we redeemed ourselves on that second battle. Wouldn't you guys agree? I think we definitely redeemed ourselves there with the skirmishers. But, you know, that first battle, the funniest thing about it was it would have been a victory. We had the position, but towards the end of the battle, I guess the Prussians pushed in a little bit and took that position, or basically neutralized the position so that neither of us owned it. And because of that, we lost that first battle. I think we absolutely... could have done much better there. Anyway, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to me there. Obviously, don't forget to visit the Slytherin channel and purchase the games that they've created. But I love it when you guys stop by there. Then I get to talk with you guys when I'm not streaming and have fun that way. Absolutely, Hedge. Oh, man, trust me. So Hedge was saying he was happy that I showed the statistics. One of the things I find most fascinating about strategy games, and this could just be my OCD, but I really like in a strategy game to see how many men died, how many men were wounded. I think that information is really cool, especially in games like Close Combat even, where you have the amount of wounded men, the men that surrendered, the men that were killed. I find all of that stuff really, really fascinating, and I think almost essential in a strategy game. Maybe in the future we'll have like specific wounds, like, you know, 20% of your men were wounded in the leg, 10% were wounded in the stomach. This sort of thing would also be really fascinating. Thank you again, guys. I hope to see you in the future, and I'll catch you on the next one. Vive la France, and vive l'Angleterre.